So I'm Ashley, and I'll give a short bio, which is marketer, writer, speaker by day, and singer, actor, fitness fiend by night. As we go through the spirited conversation, happy to tackle any and all of those avenues. So excited to be here. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, I'm at Ashley Faus. So I want to kick us off with a little question, and I can't see the chat, but feel free to put it in, and I think it'll guide us as we continue the conversation. But what is the best piece of playground equipment? So for me personally, I really like the swings. Back when I was younger, maybe like 20 years ago, I could do a backflip off the swings. So that was cool. My 3-year-old nephew, he likes to go down the slide, up the slide, all about the slide. So the thing that I found with this question is there's not really a wrong answer, and there's kind of no consensus. My favorite answer, I think, when I've asked this question is people who say the park bench. So, again, I'm not limiting you to what you see in the picture. Feel free, if the park bench is your favorite piece of playground equipment, acceptable answer. So for now, obviously, I'll bring it back around, but I'm going to pretend like we put you on the merry-go-round, we spun you around, you fell off, and we're now in a place where we're talking about the linear funnel. Very rough ride, I know, but I promise I'm going to bring it back around. So everybody here is a marketing professional. You guys are all well aware of the linear funnel. It's awareness, consideration, and decision. I want to have a little bit of real talk about the funnel, and that is the fact that it is not used correctly in a lot of cases. People whip out their editorial calendars. They decide that they're going to create 2 pieces of content per stage. That's 6 pieces of content. I'm now going to publish once per month. Good job, marketer. That's 6 months of content strategy. Hopefully all of you on this call are like, that's not how you should be doing strategy. And you're checking in with your teams to be like, you're not doing it this way, right? And in fact, most teams are not doing it this way. They're doing it this super complicated way. These are the Google results for the linear funnel. We've got like extra phases. We've got like arrows and a funnel. There's a lot going on here, right? So what this tells us is we need a new model. So we came up with a looping decision journey. Now at its core, it's 4 phases. We've got awareness, consideration, purchase, and then some sort of upsell, cross-sell, retention phase that for some reason just drops you back into the awareness phase of the funnel. We're going to leave that alone for a second, but again, we whip out our editorial calendars and we say, I'm going to add 2 additional pieces of content for that upsell cross-sell phase. That's 8 pieces of content once per month. I've just added 2 months to my content strategy. I've now got 8 months of content strategy. And again, you're all shaking your heads, right? We're like, that's not how it works. It's way more complicated. So these are the Google results for the looping decision journey. And I want to direct your attention. For me, it's on the bottom right of the screen, the Mobius, that infinite loop of sales and marketing content. We've all been there, and it's terrifying. So I decided we needed a new model. And I got so excited because I figured that I had solved it. And that new model is a jungle gym, because it allows people to kind of go up, down, sideways, etc. But then I quickly realized there's a problem with the jungle gym. And that's that there's still only one objective, and that's to get to the top of the jungle gym. It's still me as a marketer forcing you as an audience member to go on a journey with an objective that I have defined, which brings us back to the playground. What's the right way to play on the playground? Is it to go slide, swings, merry-go-round? Is it to skip the swings altogether? And I mentioned earlier about the park bench, the people sitting there just enjoying the sunshine. Are they using the park in the wrong way? Now, we need to treat the buyer's journey as a playground. People can enter and exit as they please. They can go in any order, and they can engage in content the wrong way. So what do I mean by content the wrong way? Well, if you look at the playground and you look at my 3-year-old nephew, the playground designers want him to go down the slide. Every freaking time he goes up the slide. Our users do that exact same thing. So I'll give you an example. Pricing is traditionally considered a bottom of funnel asset or conversation. But when my boss comes to me and says, hey, Ashley, we're going to buy a new SaaS tool. How much budget do we need? I got to go ask for budget. I have no idea how much budget to ask for. So I start Googling around and I reach out to a couple of the big players in the space and I say, hey, could you give me a rough estimate for this number of licenses at this service tier? And half of them replied and they're like, oh, you need to download this white paper. Oh, you need to fill out this form. And I'm like, I don't even have budget. Right? We're not even going to acknowledge that I'm not even in the funnel, or I'm not in the awareness phase of the funnel because I don't even have budget yet. And yet I'm looking to have this kind of bottom of funnel conversation so that I can go get budget. So I finally get budget. I get on the call with the reps and I'm like, hey, I'm sold. This problem needs to be solved. We need a tool like yours to do it. Sell me your product. And then half the reps were like, I can't drop you all the way to the bottom of the funnel. Like, I have to convince you that the product that we're selling and the problem is valid, right? And I'm like, no, I want you to tell me why I should buy you and not your competitor. Like, sell me. At this point, I'm ready to buy, right? So this is why we need to think about the buyer's journey as a content playground. So I want to set that as the stage for the spirited conversation. I obviously have a lot of thoughts on how to build the playground, how to deliver the playground, how to get people to interact with the playground. But I'm curious to kind of kick it off to the group for some, either disagreeing with the model or being like, yes, it's the perfect model. And here's how we did it at our company.